What if I told you that just one simple habit could keep your brain 11 years younger? It's not a pill. It's not a fancy supplement. It's not even something new. It's a bowl of leafy greens. That's right. According to a long-term study from Rush University, older adults who ate just 1 cup of leafy greens a day had cognitive abilities equivalent to people 11 years younger than those who didn't. 11 years. That's the difference between forgetting your keys once in a while and confidently remembering birthdays, appointments, and the names of your grandkids' friends. You see, aging doesn't have to mean fading, not in energy, not in memory, not in joy. And the key to staying vibrant as we age, it often starts with the food on our plate. Because instead of simply eating to get full, what if we started eating to stay sharp, steady, and strong through every decade of life? Of course, hearing that greens can make your brain younger is inspiring. But let's be honest, eating right isn't always easy, especially as we get older. Our joints ache, our digestion slows, grocery prices climb, and let's not even talk about the energy it takes just to cook a meal after a long day. Sound familiar? You're not alone. So many seniors are navigating health challenges, limited mobility, tight budgets, or simply decades of habits that are hard to change. Some say, I've eaten this way my whole life. Why change now? Others feel overwhelmed by new information that seems to contradict everything they were taught. And for many, it's not about not knowing what's healthy. It's about figuring out how to actually do it in a real, messy, imperfect life. But what if the goal wasn't to do everything perfectly? What if it was simply to make one small, doable shift today that helps you feel better tomorrow? Let's start with one of the most powerful foundations of healthy aging: real living food. I'm talking about food that still looks like it came from the earth. Fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans. These aren't just healthy choices. They're building blocks for your cells, your muscles, your memory, and even your mood. You see, food that's been heavily processed, boxed, canned, or engineered to last months on a shelf might be convenient, but it's often stripped of what your body truly needs: nutrients, fiber, antioxidants, and natural energy. Instead of giving your body something to thrive on, these foods make it work harder just to stay afloat. But whole foods? They give back. They bring structure to your bones, flexibility to your joints, clarity to your thinking. They calm inflammation, the quiet force behind so many age-related diseases. Now let's get practical. For some older adults, especially those with sensitive stomachs or digestive issues, raw veggies can be tough to handle. You might even think, every time I eat salad, I feel worse. That's valid. But instead of giving up on veggies altogether, what if you tried preparing them differently? Steam them lightly. Saute them with a bit of olive oil and garlic. Blend them into a warm soup or a smoothie with berries and almond milk. Frozen vegetables are another great option. They're picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, locking in nutrients without the additives. And they often cost less, which helps if you're on a tight grocery budget. Still worried about waste? Buy only what you'll use in 3 to 4 days. Or do what one viewer shared: they freeze dry fruits and veggies in batches, making healthy snacking easy and long-lasting. Because the truth is, the more living food you put into your body, the more life it gives back to you. So the next time you open your fridge, ask yourself, is this food still alive? If the answer is yes, chances are it'll help keep you alive and thriving too. Now let's be real. Every time someone says, eat more leafy greens, there's always that one reply: I hate kale. And honestly, I get it. Kale has become the poster child for healthy eating, and also the most bashed on veggie out there. It's tough. It's bitter. And if you've ever chewed on it raw without prep, you probably wondered if you were eating a leaf straight off the sidewalk. But here's the twist. You don't have to like kale to eat more greens. And even kale can surprise you with the right preparation. Try slicing it thin, then massaging it with olive oil and lemon juice to soften the texture. Or saute it with garlic and onions until it wilts and sweetens. Better yet, blend it into a smoothie with banana, berries, and almond milk. You won't even taste it, but your brain will thank you. And if kale's still a no, that's okay. There's spinach, arugula, Swiss chard, spring mix, romaine. The goal isn't to force feed yourself something you hate, it's to find a version that works for you. Let's talk about fat. Yes, fat. The word itself has been misunderstood for decades. Somewhere along the line, we were told that fat is bad, that it makes you gain weight, that it clogs your arteries. But the truth is, your body needs fat, especially as you age. Did you know your brain is about 60% fat? That's right. Every thought, every memory, every decision you make is powered by healthy fats. And here's the magic. When you eat fat from good sources, like avocado, olives, nuts, seeds, or cold-pressed oils, it doesn't weigh you down. It lifts you up. It helps you think clearer, move better, and even absorb more nutrients from your meals. For example, those leafy greens we talked about earlier, they're loaded with fat-soluble vitamins like A, E, and K. But your body can't absorb those vitamins properly without a little fat on the plate. So instead of eating a dry salad and hoping for the best, why not add a few slices of avocado or a drizzle of olive oil? It not only tastes better, it works better for your health. You don't need much. Just a spoonful of flaxseed in your oatmeal, a handful of almonds with your fruit, a little sauteed garlic and olive oil tossed with green beans. It's not about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And let's clear something else up. There's a big difference between healthy fats and factory fats. Avoid those highly processed vegetable oils, hydrogenated spreads, or mystery buttery blends with 15 ingredients you can't pronounce. Instead, look for cold-pressed oils, organic if possible, and always check the label. Because instead of starving your body of fat and leaving your brain foggy and your skin dry, you can nourish it with just enough of the right kind. So next time someone says, fat is the enemy, you can smile and say, not in this house, not at this age. Let's shift to something your body absolutely depends on, protein. You've probably heard that protein helps you build muscle, but that's only the beginning. Protein makes up your skin, your hair, your nails, your hormones, even the enzymes that keep your digestion working smoothly. As we age, something called sarcopenia starts to creep in. That's the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength. And when muscle goes, balance goes, mobility goes, independence, that starts slipping too. But here's the good news. Adding enough protein to your meals consistently can slow that process down and help you stay strong, literally. Now, most people think of protein as meat, chicken, beef, pork, maybe fish. And yes, those are protein sources. But they're not the only ones. Plant-based eaters have been doing just fine for decades, and science backs them up. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, tofu, they all carry a healthy punch of protein. Even vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and potatoes contain some. Not a ton, but enough to contribute over time. Dairy is another option if your body tolerates it. Plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or kefir can be excellent, especially when paired with fruit or nuts. The key here isn't about picking a team, plant or animal. It's about making sure your body gets some form of protein in every meal or snack. That could be eggs in the morning, hummus on whole grain crackers at lunch, grilled salmon or tofu stir fry for dinner. And remember, your protein needs don't decrease with age. In fact, they often increase. Some research even suggests that older adults may need more protein than younger folks to maintain the same muscle response. So instead of thinking, I'm not training for a marathon Why worry about protein? Try thinking, I want to lift my groceries without strain. I want to get off the couch without pain. I want to keep my strength. Because strength isn't about lifting weights. It's about lifting your life, one meal at a time. Let's talk about something so simple. Most of us overlook it, water. You've probably heard it before. Drink more water. But did anyone ever tell you why it matters so much as you get older? Here's the deal. Your joints, those creaky knees or stiff hips, they're made up of cartilage that's about 75% water. When you're dehydrated, that cartilage loses its cushion. And guess what shows up? Pain. But when you're well hydrated, your joints move more smoothly, your body recovers faster, even your digestion and circulation work better. And the brain, it runs on water too. Studies have shown that seniors who stay well hydrated have better memory, better focus, and fewer falls. That's not a small benefit. That's a life-changing difference. So how much should you drink? While every person is different, a general rule is 5 or more 8-ounce glasses a day. And yes, herbal teas, soups, and water-rich foods like cucumbers or melons count toward your total. Not a fan of plain water? Try adding a slice of lemon, a few mint leaves, or a splash of unsweetened juice. And here's a small habit with big results. Drink a glass of water before every meal. It aids digestion, helps prevent overeating, and keeps your body running smoothly. Because instead of reaching for pain pills when your knees hurt, what if the first thing you reach for was a glass of water? Let's move from water to something a little more exciting, spices. They may come in small jars, but don't let that fool you. These tiny flavor boosters can pack a massive punch for your health. Take turmeric, for example. It contains curcumin, a compound known for its strong anti-inflammatory and brain protective effects. But here's the trick. Curcumin is best absorbed with a pinch of black pepper. That little pairing turns up its effectiveness like flipping on a light switch. Or how about cinnamon? Just a quarter teaspoon a day has been shown to help regulate blood sugar. Sprinkle it on oatmeal, add it to tea, or mix it into smoothies. There's also cardamom, which may aid digestion. Rosemary and sage for memory. Thyme for immune support. Each spice brings something special to the table. Not just flavor, but function. Now you might be wondering, do I have to turn into a gourmet chef to use all these? Not at all. You only need a pinch at a time. Start with what you already enjoy. Maybe that's garlic and pepper. Maybe it's basil and oregano. Keep it simple. Even one new spice can turn a bland meal into something satisfying and healing. And if you're someone who's lost a bit of appetite with age, spices can actually help wake up your taste buds, making eating enjoyable again. Because instead of eating out of routine, why not eat with delight and let your food become your daily dose of medicine? So far, we've covered a lot. Leafy greens, healthy fats, smart proteins, hydration, and the healing power of spices. But maybe you're still wondering, how do I put all of this together in a way that feels doable, sustainable, like something I can actually stick with? That's a powerful question, and the answer may lie in a way of eating that's not a trend, not a fad, but one of the most researched and respected dietary patterns in the world, the Mediterranean diet. Now, don't let the word diet throw you off. This isn't about restriction. It's about nourishment, about returning to real food, shared meals, satisfaction, not sacrifice. The Mediterranean way is built on everything we've just discussed. A rainbow of fruits and vegetables, healthy fats from olive oil, nuts, seeds, moderate amounts of fish, poultry, eggs, whole grains like farro, barley, or brown rice, plenty of herbs and spices, and yes, the occasional glass of red wine. And the results? They're staggering. In a massive review of studies involving over 679,000 older adults, those who followed the Mediterranean style pattern had a 23% lower risk of death from any cause, a 27% reduction in heart-related mortality, and improved cognitive performance and physical function over time. Those numbers are hard to ignore, but even beyond the stats, this way of eating feels human. It honors culture, tradition, and taste. It encourages cooking with what you have, sharing meals with others, and making small, intentional choices every day. And here's the beauty. You don't have to do it all at once. Start with one thing. Maybe you swap butter for olive oil. Maybe you add a salad before dinner. Maybe you eat beans twice a week instead of red meat. Each small shift builds on the last. Like stepping stones across a river, you're creating a path toward vitality at your own pace. Now, some of you may be thinking, what if I've already lived most of my life on the opposite path? Let me tell you, it's never too late. Studies show that even people in their 70s and 80s can benefit from changing their diet. Brain function improves, energy returns, digestion becomes easier. Medications may even be reduced. Instead of thinking, I've lived too long to change, try asking, what would it feel like to wake up with more energy next week? Just because of what I ate today. Because eating well isn't just about living longer. It's about living better in the years you have. It's about keeping your mind sharp enough to play games with your grandkids, strong enough to carry your own groceries, confident enough to say yes to a walk, a class, or a road trip. So if you're wondering whether this matters, it does. Your next chapter is being written by the choices you make, one plate at a time. If you've made it this far, you're already doing something powerful. You're paying attention to your health, and that's the first step. Now here's what I want to invite you to do next. Pick just one tip from this video. Just one. Maybe it's adding a handful of greens to your lunch. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water before each meal. Maybe it's sprinkling cinnamon on your morning oats. Don't aim for perfect. Aim for possible. Because one small habit can open the door to bigger change. And if you're not sure where to start, that's okay. This isn't a race. You don't need a full meal plan. You don't need to do everything all at once. You just need a willingness to try. Maybe today you prep one colorful salad. Maybe tomorrow you take a short walk after breakfast. These aren't small things. They're how momentum begins. Because adding more life to your years is always worth it. So go ahead, try one thing from today's video, and then notice what changes. Your body is always listening. And when you care for it with intention, it often responds faster than you think.